Well, YouTube and Twitter are cracking down on their censorship. Facebook as well. And if you're a Trump supporter, if you have a different message than the establishment, if you like secure borders, if you're a nationalist, they're going to try to shut you up and bury you. You've seen this on the Alex Jones channel, but it's not just the big channels. There's other channels out there, other users out there who are putting out good content that are being censored. One of them is David Seaman. David joins me now. Now, David, last time we were on, we talked about how you had decided to remove yourself off Twitter. You followed through with that. But now on YouTube, you're starting to deal with that same stuff. They're trying to bury you. They're trying to make it so people can't see their videos. What have you been dealing with on YouTube?
Yeah, thanks for having me back on, Owen. It's very unfortunate, and it's not just happening to me. It's come to my attention. It's happening to Mike Cernovich's YouTube channel as well, who's a contributor on your own network. So it was actually first a friend of mine brought it to my attention, somebody who's very tech savvy, and then a number of my users, a number of my viewers have corroborated that they're actually not getting notifications anymore when I go live with a stream from somewhere. Sometimes I do them just walking around, as I did recently in Aspen, as I'm in New York. So wherever I happen to be, I like to go live from time to time. And they're no longer notifying my 150,000 subscribers. And it's apparently happening to Cernovich's channel as well. But more establishment channels like the Young Turks, the notifications are still going out. So if you get the YouTube app, you'll still be notified when Cenk Uygur goes live, but you're no longer notified when I go live. And, you know, YouTube sent me this earlier this year to congratulate me on breaking 100,000 subscribers. And the CEO sent me some kiss-ass letter. I think it was just the form letter. But they're obviously not supporting us. They're not supporting independent journalism.
Well, and let's be clear, too, this is kind of an underhanded tactic that they use on these social media platforms where they're not going to outright ban you or outright block you. They just use different tactics like, oh, an algorithm failure, and all of a sudden nobody's getting your notifications, or all of a sudden you're not popping up on these people's news feeds. Or, for example, you weren't aware of this, but I brought this up to you. Eric Trump replies to a President Trump's tweet today, replies with a Drudge link highlighting the jobs numbers, and Twitter censors that. So this is the kind of underhanded tactics that they're using. I'm a subscriber to your channel, and I can tell you that I get most of your notifications, but my crew just pulled up your latest videos. I did not get notifications on those last videos. I'm supposed to get notifications every time you go live, and that's the only type of video you do.
Wow. Yeah, some of my viewers have confirmed that the bell is checked, so they're definitely supposed to be notified on their smartphones, and they're not getting notified. Again, it's happening to Cernovich as well, I hear. And if you think about my most recent videos, what are they trying to cover up? Well, in the recent one entitled Pedogate Will Never Be Swept Under the Rug, I talk about how researchers are starting to come to the conclusion that George H.W. Bush might have, to some extent, pedophiled the CIA and made it start to follow some kind of globalist, Luciferian agenda. And if you look at certain world events, it does kind of sync up a bit. And, you know, the CIA Finders Program, allegations that CIA contractors were procuring child victims for elites in D.C.
Well, and let's not forget, you had Laura Silsby caught at the border, okay, with children that she wasn't supposed to have. You have what's the guy's name who was Speaker of the House for the Dennis Hastert, Speaker of the House for the Republicans for the longest amount of time. He's a pedophile. You've got the WikiLeaks dump on Vault 7 saying, and the Dumbo especially, they could blackmail anybody with that sort of technology. So why can't you at least do a broadcast where you speculate on this stuff? It's not outrageous.
Yeah, exactly. The Dumbo stuff means that anything is possible. That's like Jason Bourne level stuff. The fact that they can turn off all the surveillance cameras around you before they go in and grab your laptop to put some surveillance malware on it, or before they potentially go in to kill you, right? Let's not joke around here. But in terms of what YouTube might want to censor specifically, we have to keep in mind, of course, YouTube is owned by Google, owned by this conglomerate tech company that increasingly resembles a monopoly. And Google might be covering for John Podesta because he was their lobbyist until January of this year. The Podesta Group and John Podesta was the DC lobbying firm for Google Incorporated. And even further, Google's chairman, Eric Schmidt, according to WikiLeaks' editorial team, he was the designer of Hillary Clinton's campaign strategy. So is that why they're censoring channels like mine and channels like Cernovich's and other pro-Trump media and other independent thinkers? Is it because of this very obvious connection? Do they not want to throw John Podesta under the bus? That's the only thing I can think of. And of course, Google, their executives met weekly with the Obama White House. Now we're starting to see how corrupt Obama was. Not good. You know, as I had a former CIA officer on my channel recently who's been on your network as well. And he told me that he thought Pedogate, not 9/11 truth, is what will eventually bring down the deep state.
You know, that's interesting. Those are two big things that I think would unite America together if we could get to the bottom of that stuff. But just ratcheting back from Podesta and the Pedogate stuff, we're well aware of. Let's get back to the YouTube, Twitter censorship, because we were talking about how they want to make it impossible. They have these platforms. They get everybody on them. Drudge called them an internet ghetto. So now they've got all of this concentrated traffic to these few platforms. Well, all of a sudden they start to manipulate it, and nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows where to go. And that's how they're going to try to silently erase our voice, I believe, from these internet ghettos.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the Uber driver problem. Uber started off as an app that most people are satisfied with, above average service, clean cars, the drivers are happy with the money they're making. Then they start cutting corners because they want higher and higher volume. YouTube and Facebook do the same thing. They've started to cut corners. They don't want to offend anybody. So at the expense of not wanting to offend any conceivable minority, they are silencing fairly normal views, and they're silencing views that should not be silenced because they're not illegal. You know, being on the alt-right.
And they're in the majority. See, this is the key. I'm sorry to interrupt, but they're in the majority here. They think if they can silence and suppress our voices on these huge platforms, that they can control the Overton window and control the optics of the general population. Most of Americans agree with the things that Trump supporters are saying, but they don't have the optics, and the liberals don't see that support there because they're censoring these platforms.
Yeah, what they forget is we can always just close our laptop and go out with our family and friends to dinner at Applebee's or somewhere and talk about the truth, and no Zuckerberg algorithm can filter that out. You know, the truth is getting out. All they're doing is embarrassing themselves. YouTube is embarrassing itself. They sent me this plaque. Why bother to send me this plaque if they're not in the business of growing their creators? I mean, they're harming us. You know, some people have asked me, why am I frozen at 150,000 subscribers? Way more people know about Pedogate at this point. Why has it been frozen at right around that number?
Well, and you've seen your views go down. You've seen your live views goes down. You've actually seen the hit on your analytics since they started this soft censorship.
Yeah, since their hate speech, their attempt to limit hate speech on YouTube, we've seen a drastic drop in the number of live stream views and a drastic drop in traffic overall, as if a Jew and former Huffington Post contributor outing the excesses of the Clintons and their occult practices.
Oh my gosh, that's it. Oh my gosh, YouTube is anti-Semite. Let's get the Jewish Defense League on this. This is unbelievable. All right, 30 seconds, David Seaman, what do you think we can do about this? Do we need to march? Do we need to sign petitions? What do we do?
I'm in favor of a protest in front of Google's offices in Mountain View, California. Why not? You know, I've never heard of the winning side being censored. We won a presidential election. It's now August of the year. After that election took place, if we're being censored because Google executives or Google chairman Eric Schmidt, who according to WikiLeaks designed Hillary's campaign strategy, if we're being censored because these people are politically butthurt and still can't accept the MAGA agenda.
That's right. What are they trying to cover? Are they trying to cover up for Hillary Clinton's loss? Are they trying to cover up for pedophiles? I don't know, but they're trying to censor conservative media, nationalist media on YouTube.
As most of you already know, I am a voracious consumer of news and information. And in the last 4 or 5 years, doing more and more research, I came across the fact that the elite, the establishment, the science community is fully aware of the fact that our ancient ancestors, in many cases, had much better nutrition than we do today. And our ancient ancestors sought out the bones of the animals that they were hunting, killing, and then processing. And that they went for the bones first, knowing that they were full of the vital essence in the marrow, but also in the bone structure itself. And so I set out, working with the top formulator in the country, to develop Caveman. But to not just have concentrated bone broth from chicken, but 7 other superfood ingredients known for cleansing and supercharging the body. InfoWars isn't just fighting the globalist. We're getting results, and we're expanding in the face of the complete media assault and winning because of your support, because of you praying for the broadcast, because of you buying the products and financially supporting the transmissions. So please secure your Caveman today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.